to take an opportunity to talk about the Abbotsford Community Foundation Awards with you. So I am on the Abbotsford Community Foundation website right now, which has also been posted to Schoology. If you have any trouble finding it, let me know. But I want to just cover a couple of the basics. If you applied for the MEI Friends and Alumni Awards, you'll recognize a lot of these steps because it's a very similar process. So eligibility, step 1. If you are an MEI student and you are a Canadian citizen or permanent resident and you have a social insurance number, you are eligible. The next step is reviewing your awards in the awards directory. So because there are so many awards available to students across the school district, including MEI, that means you have a lot more awards to sift through. And so that's going to take a little bit more time than it would have during your MEI Friends and Alumni application. But why don't we just click on it to see what's going on here? So this is a filter. You're going to want to click MEI here because there's no point clicking all schools, because some of the schools within the Abbotsford School District Awards will show up that you're not even eligible for. So if you click MEI, that will guarantee that all the awards that you're eligible for will come up. So that's awesome. Then there's also additional filters, and this can just help you narrow down a little bit more in your search because it does give you a quick little glimpse here into what the award might be, but you do have to click on each individual one to be able to read their criteria. So I'm just scrolling down to one that I wanted to show you. This is one among others that have a special criteria. And this essentially means that on top of your application and everything else that Abbotsford Community Foundation is asking you to submit, you also have to submit some sort of proof. So for the Mount Lehman Community Association, you have to either have attended Mount Lehman Elementary or live within its catchment area. So you do have to provide proof of that, okay? So this is one of a few awards that's like. So I'm just going to go back here to the awards summary checklist, which is step number 3. So this is where you're going to find an award summary checklist that is specific to MEI. Again, that's because every single school in the school district has some awards that we're all eligible for, but some that only MEI students are eligible for. So you want to make sure you click on the right one. And this is what you would check off or put a little X beside the names that you are applying for after you've researched and looked into the criteria for each of these awards. So as you can see, there's a lot of awards listed here. So that does mean that it's going to be a little bit time consuming. So please make sure that you give yourself enough time to look through all of the criteria and know what you're applying for. One really important thing, and this is different in the ACF Awards than the MEI Awards, is that you have a maximum of 10 awards that you can apply for. So please do not do more, and you might as well do 10 because you're doing one application. It's no more work to select 10 than it is to select 2, for example. So you might as well aim for the 10 awards. So that is your step number 3 already completed. And then we have the student application form. So I'm going to pull up a couple of screenshots of what you can expect if you haven't already started the application. So again, there's going to be a lot of similarities to what you've seen at the MEI Friends and Alumni Awards. But here you're getting asked to describe your volunteer work and community involvement, to also talk about what your education plans are, and any extracurricular activities that you've been involved in. So this is an important page, and I do also want to note that volunteer work that is mandated or obligatory that demonstrates leadership or other service to community can be entered in here. So that could be for some of you who maybe were part of going to Gleaners with your youth group on a weeknight. That might be considered something that actually is mandated or obligatory because it was with your youth group. But if you have any questions about that, I'm happy to clarify that. And then the next screenshot here I want to show you is also some more questions. So how would this award be used to achieve your post-secondary goals? And then you can also provide more information about you. again, this is very similar to what you've already written, so hopefully you've saved some of your answers so you can just tweak them slightly rather than recreate the whole thing again. And then, so some awards also want to see that there's financial need. And so this is the question here under financial need where they'll determine if you do have financial need or not. And so this is where we just ask you to honestly answer how much you have saved for university. So if you have less than $5,000 available for university, or if you have more. And then, as I mentioned before in the example I showed you about the Mount Lehman Elementary, if you have any of these awards that you qualify for, that means that you'll be able to, or you'll need to include extra criteria just to show that you are a member of that club or whatever it might be. And then finally, this is just the ending. You're just consenting and agreeing. If you're under the age of 18, that means that you'll need a parent signature. So hopefully that all makes sense. Just like for other scholarships and university applications, you'll need a reference letter. So please, if you haven't already, give your reference enough time to start writing that reference letter now. And then special criteria, this we've already reviewed, that you'll need some special criteria for very specific awards. If any of the awards you apply for do not require this special criteria, please do not add extra things to your application as it won't be accepted. But this is for those unique ones where, yes, there is something additional, either membership from the organization or an additional reference letter that they might be asking for. This is where you can include that. So again, this does not pertain to all of you, only some of you who are members of those specific ones. Then finally, we're on step 7, which is submitting everything to me. So although this is a scholarship through the Abbotsford Community Foundation, I'm the one who organizes it for the school. So I will be collecting all of this information from you by Friday, February 28th at 2:30 p.m. So please have it to me by then. Again, this is your application form that's signed by you and your parents, your award summary checklist. So that was this checklist with a max of 10 awards checked off, a reference letter, and any other documents required with special criteria awards. And then we as a school will provide Abbotsford Community Foundation a copy of your transcript. So I hope this helps. I hope this is a good introduction, and I hope to see many of you dropping off a scholarship application in my office in the next week or so.